Howdy folks, thanks for stopping in at Dad's Toolbox. In today's video, we're going to figure out why there's water coming out of my ceiling. Stick around. Alright guys, so my daughter comes to me as I'm getting ready to leave the house for work last night and tells me, Dad, I got water coming out of the ceiling. So I come upstairs to her room and this is what I see. Like, there's so much water coming out of here. Even this box is soaked. The floor is soaked. And judging by what I can see here, as the water got between the paint, or between the paper of the sheetrock and the actual sheetrock. So the first thing that comes to mind when I think of water coming out of my ceiling is this air conditioner that I had installed just a few days prior. As you can see here, I've got a brand new Carrier air conditioner, and I'm thinking, man, that pan, that condensation drip pan must be full and it's overflowing because the humidity's been real high. Well, I get up here and this pan is bone dry. Look at that sucker. There's still dust in there. So I'm like, oh man, where is this coming from? And then I see this pipe here, and that is basically how the air conditioner gets rid of the water that condenses on the coils. And I see here, it's all brand new, and then it ties into this old pipe. And I said, huh, I wonder where that goes. Well, I follow it over there. Let me widen that light out a little bit. I follow it over there and I can see it goes underneath the return there. And on top of that return, there's all kinds of dust. So I know that these guys didn't go over there and mess with that at all. So I have to think to myself, okay, well, I don't think they caused this leak. And then let me get down a little lower on the ladder here. As you can see, there's like no room to be up here. As I look through there, let me get my beam narrowed down there. I can see underneath there where this pipe attaches to some plumbing that I didn't know was there. Now I'm not going to be able to climb over there and look at that in person. I'm going to have to open up the ceiling. As you can see, when I pull on this pipe, I can see that wiggle over there. So that tells me that's where my problem is, and that's where I need to go look. So I have to get into this portion of the ceiling here, but there's a big duct blocking the way here. Not only that, it gets, as the roof goes this direction, it gets smaller. So the best way to do that is to open up the ceiling. Now I know a lot of people are concerned about opening up a ceiling because they have to repair the sheetrock, but you'll find that sheetrock is really easy to fix, cheap to repair when you do it correctly. So we're going to do that. And also, I'm going to be doing I'm actually going to be doing some construction up here. So there's going to be taping and texturing going on anyway. So I'm not really concerned about opening up the ceiling at this point. I am going to make a video, however, on how to do a nice easy patch on a hole, especially an engineered hole, one that you make yourself. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is see if I can locate a stud. I know they run this way, so I need to tap this way. See how it sounds hollow right here? And then as we get to like right here, it got a little more solid, and that's hollow. So I'm going to start my cut here. Nice and easy. Let's make sure. There we go. So actually I'll do it this way. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut until I hit the joist. And then I'm going to turn around and I'm going to cut the other way. No, not yet. Right there, that's the joist. So I'm going to turn around and go back the other direction. Okay, so that's the insulation I'm feeling. Problem is I don't want to go too tight into that corner, so I'm actually going to hold off in that direction. I'm going to go ahead and turn this blade around, and I'm going to cut along this roof joist, probably about 8 inches to here. I'm going to stay away from this corner, because when I repair this, I don't want to be getting into the corner too much. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the blade. In order to turn that blade, it's real easy if you just turn it while it's at the narrow part of the blade here. See how it turned real easy there? Now I'm just going to follow that joist. Like I said, I'm going to stop right there. That's about 6 inches from the corner there. And then I'm going to do the same thing and turn the blade and head it back towards that other wall there. Okay, see, I'm getting water coming through now, so that tells me there's water pooled here. This is why we're here, so we're definitely in the right place. Okay, so I just hit a pipe there. So I'm going to angle what I've done is I can feel the pipe right here. Hear that? So I felt for it, and then I got the blade behind it. I'm going to continue the cut. That felt like a roof joist there. That might be good news there. Okay, so now she's free and clear. I'm gonna get this saw out of the way. I'm gonna let it down real easy. Okay, so I've definitely got water here. We'll get this. I'm going to set this off to the side somewhere where it won't get broken. I'm not sure where that is. Okay, so we got drippage now. So this insulation is soaked. I'm going to go ahead and pull it out of the way. Oh, so all that water run out of there. Oh yeah, that's all soaked. All right, so right there you can see the problem. That pipe separated and it's just draining out of there. I believe that's a vent. And they tied this condensate drain in there so that it would go down through the plumbing and into the drain. And then one way or the other of this pipe goes out through the roof. Yeah, see, you can see it draining right there. See, that water's not even coming from the air conditioner. Oh no, actually it could be, because this is still tied in over here. Looks like somebody got up there and just tried to silicone it instead of gluing it properly. So I'm gonna have to get up there and clean this off. Yeah, that's silicone. I'm gonna have to get up there and clean that off, and then get some proper glue and glue that together. All right, so first thing I got to do is get all the silicone off. Actually, that looks pretty easy right there. Yeah, judging by the silicone on here, it looks like this thing was leaking before, and somebody came up here, probably climbed up there on their belly to get to that point, and then siliconed it. They didn't have anything else with them. So we'll get that out of there. Oh, we're leaking up here too. Oh, this whole thing's a wreck. The F is this? All right, so this little thing they've done right here, this only works if this right here is higher than this pipe here, and it's clearly not. So even if it were to flow into that properly, the water level in here would reach this point before it got into that pipe. So somebody really did us ugly here. So what I gotta do is I gotta look at this and figure out how to tie that into that. All right, so looks like we're starting over. Okay, so to recap, we have to recreate this situation upstairs in the attic, except it needs to all be sealed. It looks like they even, yeah, look at that. That's not even. So, what I want to do, we'll get some quick measurements. Right, we can see here I got about 6 inches of space there, and then I come off of that T, almost 9 inches on center, but more importantly 10 inches to the outside. I have room to go either way. I can always cut that pipe, and when I was pulling on those pipes there was a lot of movement, so I got a little room to wiggle. These measurements don't have to be exact. If you're unsure of the pipe size, a lot of times you can read it right on the fittings themselves. You just gotta look real hard. If you can see right here, it says 1.5 inches. So that one pipe was 1.5 inches. So this is 1.5 inches T. This is probably all 1.5 inches here. Yeah, 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches. But when we get to here, there's this. If I had to take a stab, I would say it's 3/4. Oh, here we go. Yeah, it says right here on this fitting, it's 3/4. So I have to reduce down from 1.5 inches to 3/4 in order to make a good solid fitting there. I've got 6 inches this way and 10 inches this way. So off to the parts store. Okay, so I went to Home Depot to try and solve this problem. You know, all this junk here. ran together to try to make this work. It wasn't even legal, wasn't even proper. Whoever done it didn't even really try. So I'm going to replace all that basically with this piece here, a coupling. You see that gets us to about the right length here, right? We're going to use this. This is an 1.5 to 1 inch T right here. We're going to put in this 1 inch to 3/4 reducing bushing. This is where our 3/4 pipe will plug in, and then we will join it to the rest of the 3/4 pipe with this coupling here. I can pretty much assemble all of this right here on the ground and then carry it up there and glue it in. So that's what I'm going to do. One of the first things to do is to double check and make sure you've got everything you need. Make sure you got your plan right. Now if you look down in there, you see there's a ridge there. When you glue your pipe, it's going to stop. Ideally, you want it to stop at that ridge. So we need to know where that ridge is, and that ridge is at 1 3/8 inches in. So on the outside, that translates to right here, 1 3/8 inches. And then this is the same thing. It's got a little divider in the middle. I'm going to slide that in there. That also, well, that comes out to actually about a 1/16 short of 1 3/8. So it's going to be 1 inch and 3/8, 5/16. So right in there. And we flip it around and do it the other direction. That's about how big that divider is in the middle there. And we'll do the same thing here. Almost at the 1 3/8 on the nose. So we'll flip this around here and mark 1 3/8 of an inch. Okay, now the reason we made those marks is so that we can double check that we have room to put all these parts in. In order to make these two fit together like this, I know that I'm going to need 2 5/8 inches of pipe. So 2 5/8. Oops. Good thing about PVC. 2 5/8. And that'll fit together with those butted up side by side there. Now I also know that I'm going to have the end of one of my existing pipes here and one there. And I went up and measured it. I need 5 inches. And according to this, I've got 4 3/4. I know there's more than 1/4 inch of play in those pipes, so that's all I'm going to aim for. I'm going to leave it just like that. I didn't take a measurement on the 3/4 pipe. I probably should, but it's going to be just as easy. The saw is already up there to go ahead and put all this together and leave a tail here. Take it up there and lay it side by side with the other pipe. So it would look like this. You'd lay it side by side and you'd cut it right where the two pipes cross. And then that's where your coupling goes. And you put those together. So let me get my glue. Now all the plumbers out there are going to freak out, but because I don't have two-part, I don't have the primer and the glue. I bought this Fusion single step. It costs a little bit more, but it's worth it not having to lug the two cans around and prime and then cement your pipes. Since my electric saw is upstairs, I'm just going to cut this by hand. Actually, I got another saw down here. I'll just cheat and use my other saw. So I'm going to mark this at 2 5/8 inches. How about 2 5/8? I'll go ahead and cut that there. Go ahead and get the junk off of there. It's just water going through here, so we don't have to worry too much about it. Honestly, that's all I'll need. I paid like $3 for that piece of pipe, and that's all I'm going to use. But I'll have it for other emergencies, I guess, if I don't use it for something else. Let me get my channel locks to open my glue. This is why it pays to have a couple of big pair. So those ones will fit fine. That one will fit fine. They're so big though, up in that tight space, you're probably just going to use this one as a holder. So that's what we'll do here. Set that like that. Go ahead. Okay. So there's no magic to this. You take the glue and you rub it on the pipe. This is my pipe here. Rub that around. And then twist it as you put it in there. That spreads the glue evenly. We're going to do this here and here. And all I'm doing is putting downward pressure on that right there. I'll twist it and put it down on there. As you can see, it'll spread back apart, so you gotta pay attention. It looks like she's seated real good there now. All right, so that's that. That's gonna, over the next couple of minutes, that'll cure up. And we're gonna take this off. Coat it. Don't get this stuff on your clothes. It will not come out, period. So either don't get it on you or don't wear nice clothes when you're doing this, or clothes that you want to keep nice. Okay, so you saw I twisted it there. See if I can get it to go a little bit. Nope, that's it. That's all she got. Don't force it, you'll break it. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and take this. I got a nice coat of glue on there. I'm gonna rub that in there. And then just twist it and stick it in there. And we'll let that harden up for a couple minutes before we take it upstairs. Upstairs I'm going to be using a different kind of glue because it's the wet dry you're going to use when you're gluing together existing pipe that's got water in it. I'm going to go ahead and wipe off the excess. All right, so I'm about to clear this pipe off here. Oh, look at all that movement. I got plenty of slack to make this work. Okay. All that condensation coming out of there make this very difficult. Somebody turned the air conditioner on while I was gone. All right, so I'm going to use this sandpaper to clean this pipe up so I can get onto it with the couplings. There we go. That's pretty good there. That one little stubborn spot all the while. This other pipe's dripping on me. So I can get in there and clean that up. There we go. All right, so we're using the Christie's wet or dry cement. And this stuff here is really thick. I'm gonna get it on the pipe there. And then since we're doing both sides at once, get it on this other pipe. I might get some of this off of here, put it over here. Okay, just knocking the light over. Get my light up. Get some more glue out of here. Put that on the inside. Ooh. Haha. Put that on the inside of here. Perfect. Get that out of the way. Now what we're gonna do is stick this in here. Actually, I'm gonna put it on this side first because this side we have less play with. All right, and then there we go. All right, so we're gonna take our saw in one hand and our pipe in the other. You can see I got some play there, so I want to cut it right where it's neutral. There we go. We're done with that saw. Get that out of the way. So we'll clean this up right here. Something like that. We'll clean this up right here. Get our glue. Dress that guy up. So I need some more glue. I'm really nervous about working with this stuff right over my head. It could drip right in my face. That would suck. I'm just going to coat the inside of this coupler real good. Got to get the two pieces to come together straight. Grab that coupling with this guy here and twist it. There we go. You see that other pipe going in there? There we go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go get my other glue and go around the outside of it real good. All right. So just to buy ourselves a little insurance policy, we're going to double coat it. We needed the wet dry stuff because there was water in the pipes already. Now we're going to put this stuff around the outside and hopefully it'll fill any gaps that we left. I don't think we left any, but it never hurts to be safe. So we'll coat that real good. Coat this real good. All right, so now we're going to run the air conditioner and let it build up some of that moisture that it's carrying. But in order to keep my air conditioning from escaping out of this hole in the roof, I'm going to cover it up temporarily. And then tonight when I get up, I'll come up here and check it and see if we're still dripping or not. I'm using this painter's tape so it doesn't, not too hard to get down. This will also keep all the attic stuff in the attic. There. I only need it to hold for a few hours. I'll come back and look at it this evening. By then that pipe should be plenty full and draining.